Yo, what's up, guys? Damnation-n-Hellfire here for another episode of Hellfire's Crow's Nest. Tonight I got Ross, as always. You're like,
Hello.
I'm gonna relocate you to Yellowstone National Park, man, because you're old faithful, you know?
Yeah.
Emphasis on the old part, but anyway. And we got Vikes with us tonight, too. What's going on, Vikes?
Hey, it's going good.
Cool. So let's get some slides started. We're on episode 28, I believe. And Rawr, I'm a dragon. Rawr. You love that. You love that picture. You know you do. So first, let's start off with let's do a little Bishop's Rock wrap up. Talk about the good and the bad. So Ross, we'll start with you. What'd you like? What didn't you like?
Well, I like the very much so for myself. I was able to find a target that I could auto, and I just had stuck to those, and basically, and then I got a lot of points out of the 89 by just autoing that, and then I was able to prep for the 80 sets. From that, now I was not able to do that instant repair, the prepping, but I was able to prep at least the 80 sets. So that's what I did, the 89s and then the 80s with the
what was the biggest thing that you didn't like about the raid?
The biggest thing I did not like was for the charged armors to be locked behind such a point barrier for the lower player or the players moving up that need the armor. It was locked behind the hull. And it didn't affect. That doesn't affect me. So I mean that would be, I would say, my biggest my biggest concern.
And what did you like the most about the raid?
The target size.
Size?
It did not increase, and it wasn't a small target. I'm not saying that, right? But it did not get larger. I was able to deal with that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, and, I think that goes back to something I've said for a long time, that it seems like a lot of times it's not so much the actual size of the targets that's the problem. It's that we spend 3/4 of the battle running away from shit. And then, kiting and whatnot. And in siege format, you don't have to worry about that. So that like, while map size, it's the same size, it takes so much less time because you're not running away for 3/4 of battle.
Right. You're charging at things faster. And so, yeah, that's true. But graphics were good. I wasn't, there was some.
How'd you do, Vikes?
Well, that's it. I mostly did the campaigns. I did 20 sets of each of the campaign, and then I was prepping a lot for everybody else as much as I could. I'd auto the targets, prepping, and just stop it for everybody.
Same two questions for you. What did you like the least?
Well, the least, it was having the locked prizes. Couldn't get people enough points to get by there to get the charged armors that they needed to put on the ship to make it better. It's either get the prizes or get the top prizes that they need for the FM or get the armor. They couldn't get enough points to get the armor, even prepping.
I guess the only, I don't want to say a bright side, because obviously it's not a bright side, but the only thing that made that quite not as huge as what it could have been is that, if I'm not mistaken, it was only the radioactive charge that was in the lock part, right?
That's true. That is true.
And most of the Buccaneer builds I've seen that are really successful have 3 charged ballistic and 1 charged radioactive armor. So I mean, just imagine had it been both the charged armors that were in the lock port. Oh my god! That would have been like, I will not even have been the fucking raid at that point.
I think I have 1 charged charged on mine and 1 R1 on mine for radioactive.
I double charged on mine. So I mean, I really think that it's just it's a required item moving forward for when Buccaneer owners are trying to better them. I think that that's a next step before maybe, let's just say, the Inferno. You know, the new.
Oh yes, I think the Buccaneers are better than the Infernos. I like them. I really like the Buccaneers.
Well, it's not the fact that I don't. I mean, I was just talking. I think in order of priority, I think that someone should say pick up the the radioactive armor charged prior to the new hull. You know, and so
yes, I agree.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, because the Inferno is for the FM going forward, and we always say all the time that the FM is the most important part of the game.
It is.
So I myself don't know that I would say that radioactive charge armor is more important than the Inferno hull.
Okay, I get you. I see that, but I think I just don't like it locked behind.
Yeah,
you know,
I get that. And I do agree it shouldn't be locked. I'm just saying it could. Imagine if both of them had been locked. I don't me personally. My Bucks, I have 3 charged ballistics on mine and only 1 charged radioactive. So that's a lot of the builds I've seen tend to go really ballistic heavy.
Yeah, I mean, they work really well.
Works. What was the most positive thing that you thought about the raid, Bikes?
That I could really auto the A set, really.
Right.
I could auto the A set if I wanted to. I wouldn't have to do the campaigns. I could just auto the A set throughout the whole thing and been just fine too. But I just used A sets to prep for the smaller guys that couldn't do the campaigns. You know.
Yeah, I know personally, I thought it was a good raid. Biggest downside for me, I think, was the inconsistency of damage the Buccaneers would take in their targets. Sometimes you could auto a target and take 2 minutes of damage, and then you would go back and you would auto the exact same target, and you would come out and you're like, holy crap, I got 25 minutes of damage. What the hell happened there?
Well, I think there was a glitch in there somewhere every once in a while, because I died in an 81 once. My fleet just exploded for no reason.
You're not the only person I've had say that. Like when it comes to the S targets, I'll actually auto the S targets, but I would go in and I would watch the battle, and it would be weird because there was always one turret cluster. I would say 85%. It was the one at the top, that very first cluster of turrets that you got to that was on the big strip of land at the top of the S target. I would take an ungodly amount of damage there for some reason.
I never even watched my.
There was I watched it because I wanted to know what was happening, and 85% of the time it was on that turret cluster, but it wasn't always on that one. But you would just get the one turret cluster, and you would take an ungodly amount of damage for no explicable reason that you could see. Everything went the same, and then you get to that turret cluster, you would take your phenomenal amount of damage, and then all the other turret clusters there throughout the target would do the same as what all the other ones did. There was just always one that was fucking steroid man or something, and it's just take it to pooper. Take it to pooper.
About 20 minutes more damage every once in a while, because I'd be normally doing for 3 coins, and all of a sudden I got 5 coin repair. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I mean, it got really crazy sometimes. For me, positives was there was a lot of prizes for people to choose from in this raid. They're I almost thought we were doing a tech store raid for all the stuff that was as huge as the prize list was. And a lot of it was PvP stuff. And a lot of it was reasonable PvP stuff. Lockdown rockets. Oh my God, how many people were glad to see those back? I know a ton of people that had missed lockdown rockets the first time that they had been available and had been waiting for them to come back. And yeah, I know a ton of people that got happy about that. The ability to get additional boulder fists, that's always a good thing. People who still didn't have hopes yet were able to get hopes for a good price. There was a ton of really good PvP stuff.
Yes, there was a lot of tokens.
Yeah,
I mean, really, there was a lot of tokens to be had. You know, it was really, yeah. Heck, I mean, I wasn't going to get the chameleons, but I got enough points to get both the chameleons this time. I didn't get them last time. So I got the prime and that one. Whether I build them or not, I don't know.
Yeah, if you build chameleons, we might not ever ask you back on the show. Just saying. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps up Picture Drop. Bug fixes and tuning. They fixed a stacking issue with the SSK special, which you couldn't like stack it with Thermobaric 4. I think was the only thing I'd really run into a stacking issue with. But you can now put SSKP with Thermobaric 4 if you choose to. So that's a good thing. They updated the Siege CIC bonus to apply to Chameleon CR primes as well. Yay. I wonder who noticed that. I wonder who built up a Chameleon CR prime already. It was like, oh my God, when I put my Siege CIC bonus on it, nothing happens.
That's what they had. That's where they had to get it from.
Yeah, I mean,
someone built it.
So it just makes me wonder. It fixed an issue where scroll bars would go past their respective modals. So I think that was part of. Remember how we had that bug? I think it was a week or two ago, where you couldn't do any of your R&D, or you couldn't make your tokens or anything. But it would have, and like your scroll bar though would like go down past the bottom of the thing. So I think this might be related to that somewhat. And they fixed an issue where the Executioner 2 turret would fail to display within the base planner. So yeah, I think it just would show up as like an empty turret, or maybe an empty square.
You know, they missed a few fixes that were more important than some of this.
Like what?
Well, like our Alliance tab, or getting seeing our members, our, you know.
Oh yeah, that was actually fixed. That was actually fixed, I think, halfway through last week, I think. So
you know what?
Actually, it was actually deployed in the. I don't think it was deployed in the update, but yeah, I noticed my tabs working. You know, and I think I noticed mine was working started working like halfway through last week. I thought.
No, I didn't see it working even through the raid.
No, well, I know recent attackers did. As far as Alliance members, I'm not sure because I didn't check that.
So I'm gonna look right now and check and see.
Recent attackers was definitely working for me.
It's starting to work again now. Refill up recent attackers.
Oh my God, the sky is falling. The end is near. There are now 117s on the map. That means eventually, from my understanding, is eventually, you know, either they'll start to redo all the old targets, or eventually old stuff will slowly get phased out as new stuff comes in. I'm not sure exactly how the transition is working, but you know, you would have thought it was the end of the universe the other day, because there was 117s everywhere you looked, and there was no 103s, 111s, or 115s.
I know.
It happens every time we get a new target. You would think they would learn at this point, put them on a separate spawn rate than the other ones, because you always get that new target. Nobody has the fleet to do yet. So everybody kills the 103s, 111s, and 115s, and a 117 spawns, and it just sits there. You know, they did eventually take some steps to help address it, and I don't know about you guys, but in my sector, things have been pretty well balanced at this point as far as spawn rates. But yeah, for quite some time yesterday, it was just like, oh, nothing but 117s on the map. Guess I'm not doing my FM right now. I'll check back later.
I just in my sector, it's better than it was, but it's still not okay, really. I mean, we have the max at maximum ever. We have 2 in range, and that's within a 3-sector range. It just it's hard for an alliance, and let alone if there's several alliances near.
Well, I'm up right now, and I see 2 115s right off the bat. But the alliance locator still isn't working.
Okay, so the recent attackers one, but you still can't see people in your alliance.
I got one person. I can see one person on mine.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you had a bunch of people quit while you're on the show. You might want to check that.
Nope, my recent attackers, yeah, I got SDS7 as my last recent attacker. Oh, he got hit and lost medals. God damn it, I didn't get to hit him yet.
Yeah, it does.
So here's the picture of the 117 for those of you who haven't seen it yet. Pretty big, pretty massive target. Lots of projectiles shooting at you in this thing. Lots of projectiles. Missiles, mortars, rockets, kitchen sinks, dogs, cats, everything flying through the air at you.
I like the look. I like the looks of this target.
Yeah. Yes, the target's not too big, really. I mean, it's not a huge target, but those mortars fly at you though.
It's a very compact target. It's not a big target, but there's a whole lot of stuff packed in this little area.
Yes.
So, and of course, you got your little boats out there with the blue squares on them. They can actually spot for the mastodons that are in. Hey, and now we know why the Inferno Dragons had the remote targeting evade, right? Now we know why they had that. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, it's not a terrible bad target at this point, from what I'm hearing. Now, it is also tuned way down at this point, so because they know not everybody's going to have Inferno Dragons up and ready to run. So it's kind of tuned down. Icebreakers are currently having some limited success in these. I think people can do them for I've seen people do them for anywhere from, I think, 2 to 4 hours damage with a fleet of icebreakers. So, but I mean, that's with good driving and a proper build and everything. If you don't have a proper build or good driving, you're probably going to go in there and die. So there's a couple videos out there. Just go check out the videos and then you can kind of see what's going on.
Right, and these are not a target just to try or expect any type of success with a Zelos or any type of your old really fleet. Please do not. That's not what these targets are for. And they say right on. They do say we've been told that this is for the new hull, and really. I know that the icebreakers have been working. They do take heavy damage. They can kill them. I've done it myself, but the damage is so high that I wouldn't say it's a win, but it can be done. As far as any other hull, I just hold off on these targets. Just because you see them on the map doesn't mean that the world's falling apart, and you don't have to hit them yet.
That's right.
Yep, that's for sure. I just put a little screenshot here of the Inferno Dragon and what it looks like on the water for people who haven't seen it yet. God, I love that fire ring, dude. I love that fire ring.
Oh, that fire ring kills shit. I really like this. I like that one. See,
I don't even care about its usefulness. I just like the way it looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small ring, but when it gets in there, it does damage to stuff. It's really, it's kind of neat.
So for those of you pirates out there who are facing a midlife battle pirates crisis, you can go out and get this hull. It's got flames on the side, and you'll feel all young again. So just there you go. So that's all I gotta say.
It's a fun ship to drive around. Just to look at that fire ring.
We got 2 different potential builds here for Inferno Dragons. This is just kind of like first look, throw together, or not, fully vested in trying out the target at this point. This is just some build ideas that we had. Mine is on the left and Vice. Yours is on the right. I'll go over mine real quick first. Of course, I got some of the new rockets on there. I got some V rockets for a little bit of speed buff. I got the new engine on. I got garrison battery. I got the high yield warheads. I have explosive system 4, and I went with the reactive special because there's a lot of missiles in these targets, and I believe it's the executioners. I think some of them cannot be shot down from what it's looking like to me. So you want to have pretty high missile resistance, which is also why I went with 2 panels of M armor on top of the RA, and then I went with 3 plates of explosive. Now, my intent at this point is, and I'm not sure how well it's going to work out, but you notice I don't have any countermeasures on mine. part of the reason I put the V rockets on is this will match now the speed with one of my Zeloses, and I'm going to run a Zelos as a countermeasure ship. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, this is kind of something like what I'm looking at. And Vikes, yours is on the right. You want to talk about yours? Okay. Are you still there, Vikes?
Yeah. Yes, I put the batteries on mine and the Siege, but I put more splash. I put the splash upgrade to the on mine. I thought about going to your radioactive armor. I might still put that on, but I'm going to put another panel of M on mine, and I think I'm going to put another Phalanx in there too, I believe. But that's what I'm running right now, and without any rank, and I can get through the 117s with it, but they do take a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, we were talking something.
I'm hoping the rank should change that. I'm hoping, and I can be happy with it.
Yeah, we were talking in the pre-show how like rank makes a huge freaking difference on how quick you kill stuff, which in turn will have to deal with how much damage you end up taking as well.
Yeah, it's mostly for the countermeasure because it still fires pretty fast.
Ross, do you have any thoughts on Infernos and what you might end up doing with them?
Yeah, I have mine all planned out. In all honesty, I was going to go the same route as you. However, my specials are going to be the same as you have there, and except for I'm not going to. I'm these speed rockets are going to be antis on mine, and I think I'm not sure, but I'll test one out, and I might even go 3 M's and 2 X's as the difference. But I'm not sure. I see a lot of penetrating. I see just a lot flying. So I'm going to have to kind of go step by step before I say more than a change than yours. But I'm going to go with yours, but without the speed rockets, and I'm just going to throw a couple antis on there again and not try the Tritons.
Cool. Yeah, I think the reason I went with 3 X's instead of 3 M's was simply because when I got to this point in my build, I was looking at with the 2 M's and the reactive armor. I want to say I was at something like 97% missile resistance, but my explosive was like way down there, like 82 or something. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I can't be that low on my explosives, or at least if I'm going to be that low, then I have to have additional charge there for it, So that's kind of why I ended up going with 3 X's as opposed to 3 M's.
Right. No, I understand it, and especially if it's matching the speed with the speed increase, the speed's good.
Yeah. I want to say it's only like a mile off from my Zelos that I already have built that I want to try running as my countermeasure ship. Because I personally like having a dedicated countermeasure ship. That's just the way I am. Because I feel like, if I'm going to build a ship for countermeasures, then I want to put every possible thing on it that busts countermeasures. I don't want to have a ship that's built for like all its specials and shit are for DPS, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll throw 2 countermeasures on it and cross my fingers and pray to God. You know what I mean? And like at this point, the way the weapon slot structure on Infernos is we can't turn one of the Infernos into just a countermeasure ship. Which maybe when the flag comes out, the flag you might be able to do something like that. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, like and don't think any of these builds are set in stone. This is just our first cursory looks at what we got going right now with the targets in their current format, not seeing a flagship yet and all that kind of stuff. So it just gives you a concept of something to work on, in the meantime, build however many empty hulls you want. And you can put 4 of the rockets on because, we both agree on at least 4 of the rockets. You can put, the new engine on if you want to go that route, because we both use the new engine, and put the stuff on that you know you're going to want, and then fill in the blanks later as we see more what's going on.
Right. And make it cheaper on yourself also that way by ranking, you know.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we got some blueprint slides, Ross, if you want to go over them. They're kind of ghetto this week. I just didn't have the time to do all my cutting out of the images and stuff that I usually do. So
no problem. It's good. We have this phased attack cannon. Now this phased attack cannon to Forsaken. Yeah, it's just for this. It's this hull class siege, tier 7. Now it is a cannon ballistic. It's heavy at 1,095 tons. So it has a projectile speed of 360. It does have splash with 6. Accuracy is low at 25. Range is 50 normal. Damage is 1,840. Now it has a very high wall damage and building damage at 12,420. The secondary weapons where it's really going to come into chance or come into play here is what's going to be important. It says now on this, I've been trying to read on the trigger chances is 0.8%. Now that seems low, but when I was reading it over in the description, it does say that the phased blast cannot trigger more than once every 5 seconds per phased attack cannon. So that leads me to think that, hoping, as a player, that I'm hoping that this baby can fire pretty rapidly. I'm not sure what causes it to ramp up and make it fire, if it's a time delay or a damage amount. So I'm just hoping it goes often. And then its trigger cooldown is 5 seconds. It is of course a siege hull. It cannot be used for remote targeting, so that's pretty good. I mean, that's the secondary weapon part, I believe. Well, no, that's the whole thing. So the secondary weapon is also ballistic. The secondary weapon is faster at 415 than the original. It has a splash of 40, spread of 200, and a range of 50. The damage on that one is going to be very large at 12,935, and with a building and wall damage at 281,358. So it's gonna be really quite a boom.
I did do a slide just comparing a few of the stats. You got the weight of the regular weapon was 950 tons, and now that we're in the escalation weapon, that it's gone up to 1,095. The damage of the peak accelerator cannon was 1,600. This one's 1,840. Wall and building damage of the peak accelerator was 10,800. This one's 12,420. They both had the same trigger percent chances at 0.8%. So however often your packs were getting their blue blast, okay, that's about as often as what you're going to see the phase attack cannon get hit. And your boom straight damage from the pack was 10,700, whereas the new one, of course, is the 12,936. And the boom wall building damage for the pack was 202,337, whereas the new one is 281,358. So you're talking, it looks like, just doing some rough math, I think you're like 14-15% increase on not only weight, but then all the damage numbers for the new pack as opposed to the old pack. So, I mean, I guess my question is, though, unless you happen to have a bunch of buck tokens saved up, when you gonna find the time to do this? We're working on trying to build hydras now for our second raid fleet. Now we got Inferno dragons to build on top of this. When in the hell are you gonna find time to refit escalation weapons unless you have tokens saved up?
True.
So maybe we'll see a campaign sometime between now and the raid that'll give us buck tokens. Maybe we'll get like that campaign where we could prep that co-op campaign where we could hand out free Buccaneers to people and get Buccaneer tokens too. So maybe we'll see something like that again. This would probably be a good time for something like that, so we could do these refits that they want us to get in before the next raid.
Well, it would be huge, not only for that, because the players that want to do the escalation weapons could do that, and then at the same time we could assist the other players that are getting the lower tier items that came along with that too. You know, that was a great campaign. You know,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'll give us tokens to do refitting, and it'll give them tokens to just build theirs in the first place. So,
Exactly.
yeah, hopefully we'll see that back. God, that campaign was so fun. I gave out quite a few fleets of Buccaneers that during that campaign. I know that.
I did too, and I did even to strangers. You know what? I did, and I didn't do. I mean, like a huge amount, but I actually did for strangers because it was such a great payoff for my damage amount for what they got. It was wonderful. So, yeah.
And then we got the lower cannon mount.
Okay, on this one here now, this special, it's a hull class siege, the tier 7. It's a heavy special at 14. The it does add ballistic damage, ballistic range. Now the ballistic damage is pretty large. It's 65%. Now here's where we get into the issue I have with this is the ballistic range reduction is 20%. Now, so I'll go over the rest, and then ballistic reload is plus 38%. So that's awesome. Also, you know, building damage plus 95. Great. Wall damage plus 95. Structure deflection was 100, and then with the bonus combat speed. So this is huge. It'd be a great special. In my mind, it just goes out the window with ballistic range reduction 20%. Now, maybe it's display. That's my hopes.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not a displayer. It would actually be if it wasn't. It would actually be a really good special if it wasn't for the blunderbusses that are in the target. Like maybe they plan on getting rid of blunderbusses because I could see where the less range would actually maybe be effective, especially with the increased speed, because you'll get shot out by the rockets and/or missiles or whatever while you're out farther. They'll land. They'll do their fire pool, and having that shorter range will bring you out in front of that fire pool. But however, if the blunderbusses are still going to be in the target, they're just going to eat you alive when you face plant into one of those. So maybe they might. I don't know if they might potentially have some plan to take the blunderbusses out of the targets. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem feasible putting it on.
Yeah. The only way it would be good is if they took the blunderbusses out of the target. Otherwise, you're just going to be face planting into that shit all day long.
Right. Or we're just going to see new targets that we haven't seen that actually that are these for these, and that could be the case because there's got to be something for these. Yeah.
Really. Like I said, if it wasn't for the blunderbusses, the short range might be good. It gets you out of that fire field after it lands on the water and shit. But with the blunderbusses in there, I ain't using this shit. I'll tell you that.
Right. Right. So it's a good one. But okay, so now we have this Hawker UAV. It's the Forsaken. Also, it's for the Generalist Hull. Now you got to remember that it's also a tier 7. This one here is a ballistic type damage. It's 750 tons. Projectile speed is 240. This does have a splash of 10, a range of 96 is decent range. Damage of 3,400, reload time of 8. Wall and building damage are high, 4,250. Well, what comes really good about this UAV here is the bonus stats that come with it. Now you pick up for each UAV added, you're going to pick up a ballistic, explosive, concussive, penetrative, radioactive, and corrosive, all defensive buff of plus 3%. That actually stacks up to be quite a good number once you use this UAV, more than one of them. it does have a UAV swarm duration of 1.
Hey, real quick, can I ask a stupid question?
Sure.
Don't UAVs fly over top of walls?
Well,
Yeah.
they do, but if with the splash, but see with the splash. So I think.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, why in the hell do they have wall damage if they fly over top of walls? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're totally right, but I think once we involve the splash, we have to involve I believe the building type damage.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. But without looking at the splash, I was like, what the hell you got wall damage on there for? I mean, and this is an escalation weapon for the generalist. I think it's really weird that this is the first time ever that I've seen that the escalation weapon was something totally different from what the non-escalation weapon was. They expect you, I guess, to not only switch all your weapons, but switch all your specials too, from ballistics, what you had it before, to now it's a UAV hull. I don't know. But of course, in my personal opinion, you shouldn't be building the damn thing anyway. So that's just me. You got to build it so you get that extra 75% on your what are those things called? Oh, your expedition runs. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, so, the build time on them are outrageous.
Oh yeah. You're gonna build like a 5-17-day boat so you can get an extra little bit on your expedition runs that you're probably not doing anyway. Yeah, that's legit.
Well, but let's look at it but in all honesty, so what is really wrong with them is the build time total. If there was some super short thing to do, we could try them out, but they're just not. And the stats look wonderful. And truly, I would love to have these hulls. I have almost all the hulls in the game. Well, I have the prints, but I don't, I don't have the time to build such a hull like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why it's out for me. It's not because the stats aren't wonderful or the artwork or even, all of it, maybe even the performance. It's just it's the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to build bucks. You got to build hydras. You got to build inferno. When the hell do I have time to build chameleons?
Right.
Hopefully some of this, since coming up, we're only going to have to build one raid fleet now coming up here in the next raid cycle. So hopefully our shipyards might be able to get a little bit of actual tinker time back, that they've been sorely lacking for the past year and a half.
What? We only have to have one raid fleet?
Yeah. Coming up the next raid cycle, they're going one raid fleet, and that's it.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently somebody didn't watch a Saturday show. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway.
No, I haven't had a chance to watch it really. No.
All right.
I go out on Saturdays now.
Gotcha.
Nice. Now we also have the UAV frame. Now this UAV frame is I like this special. It's a Forsaken special, and it adds to the efficiency. So you're going to have the projectile speed, UAV damage, UAV splash bonus, and so the projectile speed is 50%. That's pretty great actually, and the UAV damage is 100%. That's huge. UAV splash bonus is 50%. That's a pretty big deal too. So this is a great special.
Yeah, it's a great special that you can only equip to a junk hull. Man, can you imagine if you could put this on your Skyfires? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh yes.
I really like my Skyfires actually. Yes.
But you can't. Sorry.
No, I know.
It's like I got to build everybody up and then yank the rug out from under.
Oh, I know. I would love to have this on my Skyfires. I just love Skyfires.
Right. So it's a nice one, but there again, it's the generalist class.
Yeah, I think, is this the one that's in tier 4 that you have to get whether you want to or not? Basically.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So we're all going to have it. It's a good one out there.
So yeah, be happy. It's a great special, and it does cool things, and it looks cool. So whether you like it or not, be happy because you're gonna have it.
Yeah. Well, you know, and really though, the artwork's cool. Again, seriously, they're stepping it up. Because that's a totally different department than anything. We got to give props on that.
Their artwork is great. They've been good on their artwork. Yeah. Very good.
The artwork guys have to have such a swelled head because no matter what happens in this game, they're the only ones that always get props, you know?
No. Remember that switch over when those halls did that? It's been a long time.
Oh, well, yeah. I doubt any of the guys in the art department.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm sure none of the people in the art department are the same as back then. That was like, what, 5 freaking years ago?
Yeah, well, we don't forget.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that entire art team got fired. I'm pretty sure of that. We got VXP weekend coming up tomorrow, which starts at 9 a.m. kicks time and goes till 9 a.m. Monday kicks time. That's your chance to rank your siege hulls and take them out there and suicide them because, you know, you don't get any VXP for killing buildings. So, yeah, and just go out and kill them. And you got your robot raiders, unidentified raiders. You have 55 skirmish style target will spawn the entire time. And you got salvage and elite targets, which are going to be paying twice the XP payout the whole time. And you got your level 100 styles that will only spawn during their normal 36-hour period. Cannot retreat from the target again. Other VXP targets are not affected. And upon destruction, this target will pay out 3 Defender class VXP tokens for 10k VXP each. So it's a good time to, you know, if you got the fleets to kill these things, go out and farm yourself some Defender VXP tokens and stock up on them. I know I'll probably do some. I currently have 21 of them, I think. I'm not sure when, you know, I'll even use all 21 of those because I have a tendency to use my Conqueror hulls as my defenders most of the time because they just put out more damage and have better repair modifiers. But, you know, I mean, I'll bank up on them because you never know when something cool might come out and be like,
you never know when they decide to change defenders to be the only thing in the base.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I say I use all conquerors, but I do actually have one. One defender in there. I do have a hope in there currently. I really like the hope. The hope is such a good call. I need to build this.
Oh yeah. So I got 2 in my base plus Omni. So I got 3 defenders in my base.
No, you're way up on me then. We got some TLCs going on. We got the Titans Unleashed 3 campaign. That's for your Mega. I think it's pretty much all the same stuff that has been in the Mega campaign for a while. I still can't get the past prize pack 4. I do 1, 2, and 3 real easy. I still can't do 4. Of course, I'll be honest, I really spent no time on my Mega. I think my Mega's been the same level now for probably a good 6 months, maybe even longer. I just don't get into it. But, you know, I really should because during Bounty, you know, we usually manage to hang on to a Nexus. So I really should work on increasing my Mega more. Vinny, if you're watching this, don't pay any attention to what I said about me not having worked on my Mega for the past 9 months. My Mega's awesome, and it will continue to help us guard our Nexus during Bounty. Yeah, so, you know, you get some good stuff in it if you don't have it already. You know, the Exocet missile, you get your concrete rockets. I think it's still pretty crappy that you're only getting the 6-hour upgrade tokens as opposed to the 1 day that they used to be back in the day. That's something you guys over at Kicks need to really learn. If you're going to start us out by giving us a 1 day token, you can't go back to a 6-hour and not expect us to be happy. You can't go backwards in this game and expect us to be okay with that. It's just not going to happen. Just saying. We also have what's become my favorite campaign in the freaking game anymore. March to War. That's started on the 21st at noon and it's going to go to the 28th. You want to use your Fang Tooth in this, and this is where you can get your Siege Relator 2 You can get your Chaos Chain Gun, a very awesome prize. You can get your Kinetic Motion Cannon, another very awesome prize. And you can get your Eviscerator, another very awesome prize. And the most awesome prize for the whole thing in this mastery round, not only can you get 5 Eviscerator hulls, but you can get up to 15 days worth of Conqueror class build tokens. And to me, that's like the best part of the whole thing, because yes, all this other stuff is nice. Chain guns are really good. You know, the kinetic motion cannon is really good. Eviscerators are still really good for hitting bases. But you can, with 15 days worth of Conqueror build tokens, and you can apply them to whatever Conqueror time you want. So, no, Mike, I don't think they did reduce the mastery to 5 encounters from 6. I think it was always 5.
It's been always 5.
That's what I thought. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I've already gone through and did one of my mastery. The only thing I don't like about this campaign is I like, and don't get me wrong, this is, like I said, my favorite campaign in the game currently at this moment, was I don't like the fact that I have to do prize pack 1, prize pack 2, and prize pack 3 just to get crappy ass VXP tokens. I don't like that. You know? But that's my only complaint about this. I'm like, I prefer to just get into the mastery round as somebody who's already won the Eviscerator 5 times. Just throw me in the deep end of the pool. I can hang, man. But I don't know. You guys like this campaign?
I'm a really not a great sub driver, and I can do it really I can do this, and so I'm thinking this campaign is my second favorite. You know, this is it. This is a good one. I have to say that the Chaos Chain Gun in Prize Pack 2, woohoo! For all those people that need, you know, that is an awesome weapon. You know, it just is, in my opinion. And so is this the Kinetic Motion Cannon. These are good. These are really good items. So I know that even if you're not able to get up to the mastery, that Prize Pack 2 is for sure obtainable, and go for it. The Chaos Chain Gun and the Conqueror tokens. I mean, that alone is just worth the repair for me. Your repair is going to be less than it costs, definitely, for a 3-day Conqueror build token. And I'm saying that with the correct Fangtooth fleet. I'm not saying any other thing else, you know.
Well, I think there are cases where even Siege Loader 2 has its uses. So like pretty much every prize in this campaign is like a decent prize. You know, we have so many campaigns where it's like prize pack 1 sucks, prize pack 2 sucks. Oh, prize pack 3's okay. Prize pack 4, yeah, that one's good, you know, but this one's like down the line. It's actually a pretty good prizes throughout. So,
yeah. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I should. I'm just lazy at these campaigns anymore. I really don't need it. I don't really think about them so much.
I don't know. It's like my personal opinion, with 15 days worth of Conqueror tokens, if you don't do this campaign, you got more money than common sense. That's my personal opinion.
I agree. This is huge. The Conqueror tokens are huge, and because I need those myself. My gosh, I changed my dang mind enough to need those, or I make enough errors to need those. How about that?
You'll use those 15 days worth of build tokens on one hull, not even one fleet, just one hull.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we got the Zoe's Legion HQ campaign. It's the return of the co-op dual silo TLC. You'll want to bring your top tier ranked ships for this challenging target. Friendly reminder, as with all co-op targets, you will need to meet the 5% minimum damage dealt to get the target to be eligible for the reward. Although that's not necessarily true, because for the co-op, for the campaign for the Bucks, people didn't have to do any damage and they would get the Bucks. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to do. I guess it's they're talking for the chest for the actual encounter, not the prize pack, I guess is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You have 3 dual silo targets. Target 1 will be skirmish and siege. Target 2 will be skirmish and assault. And target 3 will be assault and siege. Has anybody done these? that's on the panel. I haven't.
I tried it. You know what I mean? I tried it last time, not this time.
Okay, you haven't tried it this time. I'm just curious as to if it's the difficulty level was decreased this time from what it was last time. Maybe if there's anybody in chat who's tried it. Okay, Chester says, yeah, it sucks ass just as much as it did before. So yeah, I mean, if you find somebody who wants to do it and you manage to get through it at the end, you'll each get 2 of each charged armors.
You know,
and I just, you get random chests throughout the things too. Like if you get through prize pack 1, you'll each get a 1 charged armor, which could be M, X, or C, and 10 to 20 hours of structure build. And the second encounter, you'll get 1 charged armor, which could be X, C, or R, and you'll get a 1 to 2 day Buccaneer build token. And in the last, if you get through the third one, you'll get 1 charged R that could be M, C, or R, and 1 to 2 1 day siege build tokens. So I mean, the tokens are cool, I guess. And the charged armors are cool. I don't know. From what reports I heard last time, I just don't know that it's worth all the effort and beating that your fleets are going to take.
I agree.
I don't know. Quite frankly, like I was silly. I jumped to Alpha this week, and pretty much everybody I knew who had been in Alpha jumped out of Alpha. So like I really have nobody even help me try to do that campaign currently if I want to do it. I mean, there's 2 people that are like right next to me in Alpha, but I'm not sure if they would be up for trying it, or more importantly, if their fleets would be up for trying it. So I don't know. So skirmish targets are getting ready for that big transfer to happen soon. The Reaver targets will go away, and we would just have the Scourge blockades. They'll be lasting side by side until the 6th of March. And then after that, the Reaver ones will be gone. So you'll have the 35 Scourge blockade, which Tide Seekers and above fleets can hit that. And you'll get 5k uranium from that, and Sector Threat yellow and orange. And then for the 57s, Tide Seeker plus and above can hit those. You'll get 15.5k uranium. And then for the 75, you want to use Hunters and Fangs against that. You'll get 33.5k. And for the 102s, you want to use Hunters and Fangs, and you'll get 47k uranium out of those. So I don't know. Anybody really want to say anything about that, or is that pretty straightforward?
Yeah, I mean the targets aren't that hard, really. They're pretty good. I mean the uranium's more in the 102 now than before, though.
Yeah, I personally still hit Drac bases when I want uranium. Like I can do a corner and get probably less damage and more uranium than I would get out of any of these. You know what I mean?
Oh yes. Drac bases are still the way to go.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's good to know that there's other targets out there for people to hit the uranium. So, yeah. So, there you go. So, yeah, Rick in chat saying he does 102s easy for no damage. So, there you go.
Oh, yeah. It can be done for no damage easily.
I think that's it for the slides. What else you guys want to talk about? We still got a couple minutes we can kill if we want, or we can just call it.
Oh, how many points how did everybody, I'm just going to say I got beat by my own alliance member, and he's in the chat, and I was wanting to say hats off to him. I can see him out there. He's Chester, and I scored like 550 million points. No kidding. And
you're crazy.
And I look up, and I got Chester here. He passed me, and I couldn't even catch him. I just couldn't. So hats off to that. I think the raid went well for me. I did do it in alpha. So there's benefits to do it for me to do it in alpha all the time. So I liked it.
You know, it's funny because like alpha always used to be like 50-50 because sometimes you would go to alpha and you would be in there and you get to take advantage of all these cool bugs that would give you extra points throughout the first half. And then other times it would be like, oh, well, I came to alpha, but the first half of the raid, nothing worked right. So they had to shut it down basically for the first hour. So I didn't even get to do the raid. But so it used to be 50-50, but now it always seems like it's on the, oh, if you're in alpha, you get some kind of weird bonus that nobody else gets. So yeah, I think I'm going to start going to alpha for the rest of the time, for the rest of the raids myself for a while.
I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a fun thing, you know, because you don't have any idea what could be out there, what could be messed up. True. You know, and that's what we're looking for in all honesty. And as fast as possible, people are trying to find things that are messed up, and it gets humorous because there's a lot of changes going on. Let me tell you what, in the first hour of an event, well, everybody sees the first day, you know, how truly paths change on auto, damages seem to fluctuate, things like that. But I'm telling you what, in the first hour in the raids, it really changes. And so it's really wild to watch the first hour in an event. And everybody and I really get a kick out of the comms. You know, it never fails. I can't tell you. I mean, how many years we've played, just years and years. It never fails. You got that, you know, in your first 5 minutes, you got that. Kicks eye sucks. This is horrible. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know, and the people were complaining about this event, and the event was the same as last event, man, basically, right? I mean, I like the event.
Yes, it happens every raid, Ross. Every raid. Always one person.
I will say, I know almost every raid anymore that within the first, probably usually within the first 30 minutes of it, somebody who is in alpha will send me a message being like, dude, before they fix it, you can go in this target and do this, and get like 1 billion fucking points off of one target, you know, and then usually it lasts for like an hour and then Kix is like, oh, we messed up. We need to fix this, you know? So yeah, I just recommend to everybody in the game, jump to alpha for the raid. Like, ignore the other 4 worlds. Just jump to alpha for the raid. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Well, that would be so funny. That would be every sector just full of hell.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people that it wouldn't even work for, though, because, you know, they have, like, you know, work commitments or a different part of the world and on different time schedules. So, like, jumping to alpha for them would just be silly. It's just, like, I don't know, though. For those who can, though, yeah, well, I definitely say, Cuttlefish wants to know, do we think charged armor is needed on the Dragon, considering the explosive charge is 1,500 deflection and base deflection is 2K? Yeah. I would say yes. I'd still go with charged armors.
Yes.
For sure.
I would too. Definitely.
Because, and you know, I can't remember the interactions between charge deflection and regular structure deflection. I'm not sure which one stacks first, which one goes on the stack first. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say that there's the mortars and the missiles and the stuff in there is probably putting out. Well, we'll use the mortars and the cold snaps and the rockets, for example. I'm sure they're probably putting out like probably over 3,500 damage per projectile. I can pretty much guarantee it. So yes, I would still say you definitely want to use charged armors. And not only do you get the 1,500 deflection from the charged armors, but you still get the 18% resistance as well, which is more than you get from, you know, your non-charged armors. Because I think you get 15% from your D5X, I think, and then you get 18% from the charged. Am I remembering that correctly?
I think there's still just 10.
I thought the D5
or 12.
Maybe is it? I just logged in the game, so I'll tell you what, I can look at that real quick.
I can say that it's been tested and not by, but and it does not work. you can try but you're going to just definitely want the charged armors if we're talking about the 117 target. I don't know if you're planning on doing anything less with those. That's a different type thing, but you want charged armors, period, in my opinion, for the 117s and any targets moving forward.
Oh, wow. So, like, I'm looking here, D5M is actually 18% penetrative deflection. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the D5, or the charge amp also gives 18% penetrative deflection. So, I guess I totally misremembered that. Or they changed it at some point and didn't bother tell us. I could see it being either one of those two things. But regardless, I still think that you're going to want the charge. Yeah, I'm really surprised that the D5M was 18 because I could have swore it was less than the charge. But yeah, I literally just looked in the game and it said 18%. So I'm like, huh. So, oh my goodness, Shane Shine in the chat. What's going on, Shane? Hey, yeah, and he just brought up a great point too, that you'll get the defense for no extra repair time on charged armors.
Yeah, that is true. Yep. There you go. Yeah,
and a pretty hefty repair bill. I mean, if you're talking about the heavier class armors, if you're not, so definitely a good thing. No repair, less repair.
So, anything else anybody wants to hit on, talk about, speculate on? We're in the last 5-10 minutes. We can speculate. I usually don't like to speculate, but we can speculate now if anybody wants to speculate. What do you think the Inferno Dragon flagship's going to do?
I bet you it's going to be a healing hull.
Think?
Yeah.
It could be a healing hull.
I doubt they give us a healing hull for the FM. That would be very counterproductive for them.
That's what they seem to be going to a lot of, So it's a possibility.
Yeah, I just for some reason, if it was any other thing other than the FM, I could believe it. But for the FM hull, I think that would be the last place they would want to give us a healing hull. Just from a business perspective, looking at it the way, like, I know if I was in their business perspective, I'd be like, I'll give you a Healy hull for your raid hulls, but when it comes to the FM, which is something you're going to do every week, no, you can't have a Healy hull for that one.
I hope it's
we got them for our other our skirmish, getting our titanium and.
Well, I mean, and quite honestly, you can get around. Well, no, I don't know if you still can. Will gluttonies heal PvE hulls, or does it have to be conquer hulls?
I'm not sure.
Hey, I'm in the game. I'll look at that. I honestly almost think it's only conquer hulls.
I hope the flag comes out and added speed. Speed would be good for me, and maybe some damage boosts. But that'd be nice because these walls in this new target in the 117, they're no joke. I've hit this target, and it's amazing what it takes to get the walls down. I mean, really. So if you're trying to circle them, which can be done, and I suggest you go around and you can actually outrange those little scout ships, and I'd pick those off first, but you got to be careful. But you can outrange those things, and then I circled it, and it does pretty well. It takes a lot of damage still, but I'm hoping for some things.
Well, here's a question, just something funny. I happen to know. Oh, by the way, these can only repair other conquerors or defenders. By the way, I just looked. But I don't know if any of you guys noticed. It's something I thought was funny, though. You know how when you click on prizes, it says pairs well with this or pairs well with that. So I clicked on the new cannon, and it has pairs well with, and then it had a picture of the Centurion from 3 raid cycles ago. And I actually pointed that out. I'm like, really? I'm like, you recommend a hull from 3 cycles ago pairs well with this new gun. I'm like, no wonder people who don't have a clue are so confused about this game. I'm like, you guys give them such bad information on what goes with what sometimes.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I'm looking at that too. I didn't even notice that.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, if you're one of the people who doesn't watch any of the shows, you aren't one of the part of one of the pages, and you rely on in-game information. But yeah, I can see why you'd be just a poor lost soul sometimes.
That actually is the case, and I'm finding it with if you travel from sector to sector, you meet some good people who mean well and who actually have dedicated a lot of time and years in this game, and get poor direction just from the game itself, and unless they are put in their own time outside of the game to research the game that they're playing, they have a hard time. So I would like to have Kixeye have more instruction, truly, on even at our level, at every level, a little bit clearer instruction. I'm okay with. I'll take the time to watch.
But it's a catch-22 though, because when they do try to send us down a guided path, then we get mad that we don't have the flexibility to build and do our shit the way we want to do it. So it's a tight line to walk, man, and I can kind of understand why they have a hard time walking.
Yeah, but well, I mean, I'm
common sense says don't recommend something from 3 fucking years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, right now I'm seeing a lot of people, that have been playing the game, so and so, are still having trouble with the different class types and what they can hit with them. They just don't understand. They just don't understand it yet. Still,
sometimes I wonder: is it stuff like that? Okay, after all this time, okay, at this point, is that Kix's fault, or is that just that player's fault for being too freaking lazy to read shit? Like a great example. I was in Sector Comms the other day, and somebody found Platform X or something. I think it's the one that gives explosive reload and like stun resistance or something. And they're like, what's this good for? And I'm like, well, what does it do?
Yeah,
like, explosive reload. Then what do you think it's good for? It's like some of it is people are just too lazy to read shit. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna ask. It's like, I don't mind helping people, but I'm not going to play your game for you. I'm not
exactly
like something that's common that anybody with a lick of common sense can figure out just by reading something. I'm not going to tell you. Go put it on a fucking ballistic platform. Yeah, that'll do wonders for you. I mean, it's probably a bad attitude sometimes for somebody who runs a help page to have. But at the same point in time, like I said, I'm here to help, not actually like think for you. I'm here to help you. You have to show me a little bit of initiative that you're thinking for yourself before I'm willing to help you.
I think your playing ability in Battle Pirates is totally, for me, it would be an insanely horrible game if I did not have the community, the BP community, the shows I watch, that I've watched over the years, all of them. I would not be the player that I am from just the game. It's actually from the outside sources. I'm not a player to experiment with PvE halls. I like going to the community. I tried that, the first couple of years playing this game, and it gets just too darn expensive. So those players that are out there, I wish, they won't see this, but I wish we could get more players to check out this show and all the other, all the other shows too. I just like it changes all your entire gameplay when you actually know what's going on. And that's what I have to say.
Right. Every show has a little bit different opinion, but yet sometimes and if you find every show having the same opinion on something, then there's something good or bad going on.
Yep.
I know. My personal opinion, the thing I found out from the 6 years plus that I've played this game, is never, ever, 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 ever think that you know it all, because there's always somebody out there, and when it comes to this game, that knows something that you don't know. Always. I don't care who you are. So,
Exactly.
And as soon as you start thinking you know everything, you're never going to become any better as a player.
That's right. And we didn't say better looking. We said know it all.
Yeah, well, believe me, Ross, you can definitely get better looking. Let me tell you. All right. Well, obviously, we've gone way too far because we're starting to talk about Ross's looks, and that's when you know that the show's gone on entirely too long. So we will call it till next time. I guess we'll see you guys Saturday for the No Quarter Open Mic Roundtable thingy. So where you can come on and vent your frustrations or talk about what your Inferno ideas might be, or just come on and talk about whatever you want to talk about. That'll be Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, we will talk to you guys next time around. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, and share us with your friends and tell them about the page. And we will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Good night.